Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody has had a nice weekend. I spent the weekend on our new motorcycle with my husband. So, my name is Julie. I am the owner and the founder of Lady Falte Light Healing. I have a Facebook group and a YouTube channel. I'm also on Instagram, but Instagram's kind of like my personal and the group one combined. I just have one on there. So today we're going to do a little video on Kundalini. I had showed some stones last week, and I always let you guys know what the stones are good for, what the purpose of them is. And this is the Shiva Lingam, and it goes to the Kundalini and awakening. And I realize that's probably backwards for you guys, but and then I realized that some of you have probably heard the word Kundalini, but don't really know what that means, or a lot of people may have heard of a Kundalini yoga or things of that sort, but don't really know what it means. So today I wanted to just do, it's probably not going to be as long as some of my normal videos, but I felt it was kind of important to come back here and let you guys understand some of these things that I'm talking about. And when I use a word or talk about something, I want to make sure you all understand what I'm really actually talking about. So we're going to come back to that in just a minute. First, we're going to do our smudge and light our candle and pull a new, it's Tuesday, so we're doing a gemstone card today. So let's get started. Right, doing that? Actually, sorry, I forgot to invite people. I'm going to hop on and invite people. And I wish there was a better way to do this, because this is really time consuming. And there's nobody there. They're there. All right, so I will try to, all my talismans are hanging right on the corner. So when I tap the screen, you guys are probably hearing those little talisman move around. So I just moved them. Hopefully that will help. I don't think it did. Probably very loud for you guys because the speaker's right there. If I can hold them up away. I'll try to do this as quickly as I can because I know it is time consuming. And as the group grows, it just, is, I'm super excited that the group has got some new members and stuff, but it is very time consuming to do this. I wish there's got to be a better way. I just don't know what it is. So anyway, trying to do it super fast. Usually I kind of tell you guys a little story or something funny that happened. Well, I'll tell you a little funny. So we've got a new Harley motorcycle, and our motorcycle before was a Victory. And so I had all this Victory motorcycle clothing anyway. And I didn't really have much for Harley clothing. So I went on eBay to order some Harley clothes, because if anybody's bought Harley clothes, they know that it's super expensive. And I don't like paying full price for anything, even if it's not super expensive. I like to get my stuff from thrift stores and consignment stores and things like that. So anyway, I went on eBay and found a Harley shirt that was very much me. It was blue. I love my blue, and it had skulls on it. So that was like awesome for me. It was blue and had skulls on it. And it was like $23 or $24 with free shipping. So I'm like, awesome, great deal. So I bought it, got it home, and was excited to wear it. So put it right on, and I didn't wash it beforehand, which I should have, because you should always do that, especially if you're buying some secondhand. But it had the tags on it, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna wear it. And the next day I was getting dressed, and I looked in the mirror, and the whole spot where my shirt was, my body was blue. So yeah, so I don't know if you probably can't see it, but especially right under here where my arm doesn't have a lot of tan and stuff, I'm still a little blue. So there's your funny story for today. All right, so we've invited everybody, and I'm gonna go ahead and do our smudge here. This is white sage. I know it's getting down there, but I really like to try to use as much as I can. So some for you guys, some for my tools here. Do my hands. I say this all the time, but there's always new people, and even if you're not new, it's still a good thing to remember. You should really smudge your hands at least once a day, if not more, because so much energy comes through our hands. Things we touch, people we touch, and so we really should be, smudging. You should smudge your whole body, but some of us have a hard time doing that or whatnot. So if you're going to smudge and do anything, do your hands, because so much energy comes through your hands. And I'm just going to light a Palo Santo stick. Get that going. I'm just going to set that there to go. Don't want to try to take up too much time in the video with that stuff. All right, so last Tuesday we pulled the amethyst card, which I have my amethyst here that I wear all the time, and then I have my banded amethyst bracelet that I wear. So I'm going to put that card back, and just a reminder that I don't pull this card for anybody particular. I'm not saying anybody's name or thinking about anybody. I do believe it's meant for somebody either watching now or watching later. Sometimes they're for me, not usually, but sometimes. And I do pull cards if anybody's interested. I don't charge anything. You can either put a comment or private message me. Just want to say, I don't do tarot. I do oracle cards. I have 4 different decks that I will pull a card from each deck if that's something anybody's interested in doing. So, I don't know what it is. We'll find out. Put the cards back here. I like to keep very good care of my cards. I don't want them getting bent or crinkled or anything. All right, so we have pulled yellow fluorite. And kind of, I guess, up here. You can't see the whole card, but you can see it better up here. All right, so I take my glasses off to read. I know, I'm old. Can't help it. So this is a money draw, power, or clarity. Yellow fluorite is the money drawing stone. It helps you powerfully attract resources and material wealth, while also clearing mental fog, boosting intelligence, and quieting anxiety. You have pulled this card as a reminder that you are powerful, and your intentions are possible, even when the pressure feels too great to bear. Meditate with yellow fluorite for mental clarity, manifestation, and harnessing your personal power. All right, so let me get a quick picture of that, and I will get it up on the group. I do it on that side. There's always a the light is reflecting in there. All right, so all right, so we have the pictures of that, so I will get those posted up in a little bit. All right, so, oh, we didn't light our candle. Let's do that. This candle smells like cookies. It's the combination of everything that's in there together. Just smells like cookies. I don't know what it is because there's nothing in there that has a cookie scent. But it does smell like cookies to me. My husband said that too. I always have him, like, when I get a new candle or something, I always have him smell it and see if he likes it or not. There hasn't really been anything that he hasn't liked, but some things he likes more than others. But and he said that smells just like cookies. I'm like, I know, I don't know why. All right, so we are going to talk today about Kundalini. And Kundalini, people associate it with, well, a lot of people, not everybody, sexual drive. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in the life force sense. So Kundalini, I'm going to just read this first part just because it's kind of like the definition. And I don't want to kind of necessarily put it into my own words. I want to just read it for you. So Kundalini identifies the rising of an energy and consciousness which has been coiled at the base of your spine since birth. So that's the basic definition, is that it's the energy at the base of your spine, which is your like in your root chakras, your sacral chakra, which is where your passion and your sex energy is. So that's kind of why they get linked a little bit. But it's not necessarily a sexual energy, but it can be related with sexual energy because it's in the same chakra. I hope that makes sense. But Kundalini energy is basically the theory behind it is that at the time of birth, at the time of conception, there's an energy that is being created, and that is the energy that is used to create the life force, and that's the energy that is used to obviously we know there's an egg and a sperm that have to join, but this theory is kind of that there's a third element, which is the energy, which kind of activates all of that, starts the growth in the womb, and then this energy is coiled around the spine of the baby, the newborn, and that is there until you die. And then when you pass, it is returned back to source, back to, whatever I go by, Gaia or Pachamama, others, Christ or Buddha or whatever. It goes back to source, whatever that looks like for you. And then it's reused, recycled, just like I like to do with my clothes. But yeah, it is, it continues on. So whether that reuse of the energy is what you consider reincarnation, so that's all very personal, how people want to look at that. But that's kind of how it is for me, is that energy is your soul, and that soul will then come back and create another life, and so that's your reincarnation, is just this continuous use of the same energy. So the energy is created, and continues on. Because as we've said before, energy can't just disappear. It has to go somewhere. It can be transformed into something else, but it doesn't just disappear. So at the time of your passing, your energy source doesn't just disappear. It doesn't just go nowhere. It doesn't just dissolve. It goes somewhere. And that, again, it goes to your personal beliefs of where it's going to go. I don't believe in a hell. I don't believe in a heaven. I believe that there's one place that we all go, and for some of us it may be better or worse, but I don't believe that there's anything that's even close to what the Bible says is hell, and fire and brimstone and the devil and all of that. I do believe that for those who have led a good life, they don't necessarily need to come back. For those who have led kind of a misguided life, didn't get it right kind of thing, will come back until they do. So that's kind of my theory on that. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. No judgments. It's kind of a joke around our house because I'm like, no judging, no judgments. So the kids and my husband do that back to me later, like, no judging. Hey, if they pick up on it, even if it's a joke, that's okay with me. So Kundalini, it can also be called, may have heard it called a couple of other different things. One of them is pranic energy. That's not a very often used. I don't know. It's not used a lot. But the other one that you may heard is chi. A lot of people may have heard of chi energy. And then bioenergy. I'm not so familiar with that, but I'm assuming by the sound of it, it's kind of more of a scientific-y term. But that's just my guess. So a couple of things is, like I said, it is at the spine. And the theory is that it's coiled around the base of your spine, which is your sacral chakra. And that some people can have what they call a Kundalini awakening. This can happen in a couple of different ways. One of the ways is just by spiritual growth, which I think is, I don't want to say the most typical way, but I think it's the most talked about way, I guess, the most known way. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know the words I'm saying. Well, I know the words I want to say, but they're not coming out right. When people talk about Kundalini awakening, people assume or would think that that meant that you were doing some sort of spiritual work and that you had your Kundalini awakening. But there are also other ways that your Kundalini can be awakened. I'll talk about what awakened means in just a second. So this can also be caused by something physical or something traumatic, something that happens. I wrote down a note here, but now I don't know what it is, where I wrote it. But basically, some sort of traumatic event or life-changing event can awaken your Kundalini as well. And this way, if you're not a spiritual person and you are not awakening your Kundalini by spiritual practice, and you have this Kundalini awakening, it can be very disturbing for a person who doesn't really understand what is going on in their body. And so I think this happens a lot to people. And I think that it just doesn't necessarily, that people just don't necessarily know that is what is happening to them. My theory on that is kind of like the midlife crisis is kind of when people are, maybe their Kundalini is awakening a little bit, and they're all of a sudden feeling all this energy, and they need change, and they don't really know what's going on. I think that can be, I think when people talk about midlife crises, that's a weird word, that it could, my theory is that it could possibly be some sort of Kundalini awakening. The other things could be if somebody has something tragic happen in their life. Car accidents is obviously one of them. A loved one passes unexpectedly. This could be very traumatic for someone and could awaken in their Kundalini. So there's a bunch of different things that could happen. So awakening just means that, I say just means, there's really no just to it, but basically what the word awakening means in this scenario, this case, is that the energy starts to uncoil from your sacral chakra. You can't really see my butt, but it's there. Trust me, my butt is there. And it starts to uncoil, and it starts to come up through the chakras. And as it comes up through all the different chakras, you are more opened, you are more aligned, and if it goes, if your awakening goes all the way straight through up to your crown chakra, that's about as good as it gets for most people. It's not going to get any better than that. And for somebody who is trying to reach this awakening through spirituality, it's very exciting, and it's amazing. But like I said, if this is happening to you and you're not necessarily a spiritual person, or you aren't really familiar with all these terms that I'm talking about, it can be very, very scary. So like I said, it can be years of the sensation of kind of like going from 110 to 200 watt, a 220. So from a 110 watt to a 220 watt, all of a sudden there's like this big surge of energy. It's kind of can be very, like I said, can be very confusing for somebody who's not spiritual, because they don't know what this is, and it can be very frightening. They don't know what's going on in their body. There could be a lot of different things, and I wrote these notes down, and now I can't seem to find any of them. Anyway, it can cause changes physically, emotionally, and also in your psychic abilities. So that is one thing. If you are, again, not somebody who is purposely trying to awaken your Kundalini, you may think that you're going a little cuckoo if you start to, your psychic gifts start to get opened. My theory on that is everybody has psychic gifts, and we all have all of the psychic gifts, but some of them just come very naturally to some people, and other people have to work on them and hone in on them and open the chakras to open these psychic gifts. But if you're somebody who is not, again, trying to awaken your Kundalini, and this happens to you, some life-changing thing happens and your Kundalini starts to uncoil, starts to awaken, and all of a sudden you've got psychic gifts that you've never had before, or you've got all this energy that you just don't know what to do with. It's very unsettling, it's very unnerving. This can all be really kind of scary for people. And, they may go to their doctor, and their doctor's going to, check them out, and they're going to be like, there's nothing wrong with you. We can't find anything. You're healthy. You're fine. Maybe they have other things, but not the cause of what is going on here. So I think it's very important that, even if you're not a spiritual person, that you are familiar with what this is. So if this happens to you at some point and you don't know what's going on, This is what's going on. If you've had something happen, if, like I said, car accidents, the sudden loss of a loved one, those are the two big ones that come to mind. But there can be other things, you know, not so much for me, but for somebody, the loss of a job could be very, very traumatic for them. Me, I'm kind of like more like, yeah, I'll just get another job. And, not quite so, mine would be more like, oh, what am I going to do for a paycheck? But for people who have studied and worked and, spent a lot of time on their career, to lose a job could be very devastating for them. So, I'm just using, like I said, car accidents and the loss of a loved one, the unexpected loss of a loved one, to be even, I guess, the expected loss of a loved one can be very traumatic for people. But I'm just using those as examples. But there are many, many things that could be traumatic to a person. Obviously, we have lots of people that are going through PTSD. And again, I think PTSD could be in part, not necessarily, I understand there's a whole psychological, especially soldiers that have seen things that are very horrible. And I'm not taking away from that in any means. I'm not saying that that is not real or anything like that. I'm just saying I think with that happening, it could also be an awakening of the Kundalini. And again, if you're not familiar with that, it could be very, very scary, especially if it's opening a psychic gift after you've just had a very traumatic experience. If you're starting to see people or hear people or sense things and you already are like on the edge, it could, like it said, it could be very scary. So I think this is things that people need to be educated with. Somewhere along our lines, we stopped educating people with this stuff. And not only did we stop educating people with this stuff, but we've gone so far to say that that's woo-woo, that's not real, that doesn't exist, that's not possible, because it's not medically proven or scientifically proven. And I don't think that's correct to disregard all of these things that have been known for more years than I could even tell you, back before Christ, right from the beginning of time, these things have been studied and learned. The use of herbs, the use of oils, the use of energies. So, I don't think we can just, in the last couple 100 years or 1,000 years, whatever, and just say, we can't prove that works, so it's not real. I don't think that's really how it works. But anyway, my 2 cents is I feel that we all need to be educated on, sorry, the dog's moving over there. It's not a mysteriously moving blanket. The dog is over there. We need to be educated on what we consider Eastern and Western medicines together and integrate them together and use them together. But so just to kind of finish this off a little bit. So if you're somebody who is trying to awaken your Kundalini and you're trying to achieve that open chakra and that energy force, there are lots of things you can do to work with that. Most of us who do it spiritually are going to get kind of a gradual release of the energy. Like the energy is going to kind of just slowly uncoil and come up. Just to kind of backtrack a little bit. But if you're somebody that has had something traumatic happen to you, it probably was more like a burst. It kind of like up through the chakras all at once. And like I said, again, that can be very, very scary for somebody who doesn't really know what is going on and can really shake you up if you don't really know. But back to, so if you are trying to awaken your Kundalini, there are lots of ways you can do that. There are, like I said, there are a lot of different gemstones that will help you. I have lots of them around here, but this just happens to be one that's sitting here in reaching distance, is the Shiva Lingam. So this is going to work with me today. And you can do yoga. There are a lot of different Kundalini yogas out there. There are some really great ones on YouTube. I'm not a yoga instructor. I cannot do yoga. I'm going to try some Kundalini yoga because my understanding, and again, I'm haven't done any of it yet, but my understanding is it's not kind of like your typical yoga, where because I tried yoga years ago, and all this spirituality and stuff that like everybody's like, you got to do yoga. So I did try yoga and ended up hurting myself because I was twisting in ways that my body is just really not gonna go twist. It's not normal for me. I have a back injury from a car accident, so doing yoga with a bad back is really just not great. And everybody said, oh, you can get a special yoga instructor and they'll work with you. Well, that costs a lot of money to do that. I don't have a lot of money to spend on yoga, especially when there's YouTube. So I have downloaded a couple of Kundalini yoga instructions. I just have not had a chance to do them. Probably won't be till fall or winter. My summers are pretty busy. Sorry, I have like major allergy issues going on right now. That time of year. So there are yoga, there's meditation, there's visualizations, there are sound things that can help with that, drumming, singing bowls, the solfeggio frequencies are all different things that can help work on that. I'm wobbling because I'm sitting on a little pillow thingy that's supposed to be good for my back, and it makes you keep your balance. And so I'm struggling right now because my back is not very strong. So yeah, let me just make sure. One of the things you might see when you're searching for, if you do Google or anything like that, and you're searching for Kundalini awakening or Kundalini energy or any of those things, is it's very typical to see an image of the person setting with, like in the yoga position, the crossed legs, hands out, with the chakra colors, and a snake on the body of with the chakras, the snake. So that snake's kind of that uncoiling of that energy. That's a representation of that. And just to kind of side note, that is, snake is also a symbol of transformation. So if your Kundalini is awakening and that snake is uncoiling and coming up, there's going to be a lot of change and transformation in your life. So that's kind of how that ties in there together. Yeah, so I think I've pretty much covered everything in my notes. So the last thing I wrote is, in simplicity, your Kundalini awakening can bring contentment, unconditional acceptance, and presence are hallmark of an awakened life. So, I mean, again, there's a lot more that you can delve into in Kundalini energies. Like I said, you can Google forever about yoga, about meditations, about awakenings, about the energy. There's all kinds of Kundalini yogas that are geared just towards the sexual part of the energy. So there's like a ton more you can delve into for Kundalini. But again, when I showed the stone last week and read to you off the card that it was good for your Kundalini awakening, I wanted to make sure that you guys basically had the basic knowledge of what Kundalini is, what it means, what I'm talking about. So when I say the word Kundalini awakenings, Kundalini energy, or anything like that, you guys have the basic knowledge of what I'm talking about. again, I can't go into a ton of different stuff because I only have a short window that my videos are. I try to keep them under an hour. Sometimes they go a little more. I don't think I've had any over an hour, but some that are pretty close to an hour. Try to keep them like 45 minutes to an hour. I don't want them to be too long and be boring. But I also don't want them to be too overwhelming at the same time. But again, I always tell everybody on the video, if there's more you want to know, if there's something you have questions on, you can put them in the comments, or you can private message me, or you can just put in the comments, I would like another live video on this, and we can delve into some other stuff. If that's something you want to do. If you want to talk about, I'm already kind of giggling and stuff, but I'm not always comfortable talking with sexuality and sex. It is part of our lives. It is something that happens every day all over the world. But yeah, it can be a little much sometimes just to talk about it, and it shouldn't be. It should be very normal for us to talk about. But again, in our society, we have kind of pushed that stuff aside, that we don't talk about that. Like, that's private. We don't want to know about that stuff. But yeah, there is that whole aspect of the Kundalini energy with the sexual energy. And I just said that's what causes the birth of another child. Now, you can awaken your Kundalini energies and work with those energies without creating a child. You can also awaken your Kundalini energies sexually without a partner. So those are all kinds of things that you could kind of delve into, as we say, go down the rabbit hole of. But again, I just really wanted you to have just the basics of what Kundalini meant. And so when I do talk about it, that you guys will understand what that is. And for some of you who are in the group, who are in other groups, are going to find this probably extremely boring because you already know all this. But there's a lot of people in the group that are very new to all of this, and are like, people have commented or sent me comments and stuff that, like, I'm very new to this. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to do. And so my suggestion is, most of my videos are, sorry, my phone's going off. Most of my videos are very basic. I don't dive into anything too intense or too complicated, just because I'm kind of teaching as I'm learning a lot of this stuff myself. So there's a lot of it that's just real basic information. My astrology, that's my reminder, I have to go to work. Astrology videos that I have are very basic. Crystal stuff is very basic. There's nothing that I've got into at this point which is too complicated. So if you are new, and I know I have a few new people that are like really new, like are interested in this, but have not learned anything yet, which is perfectly fine because we've all got to start somewhere. We all at one point didn't know any of this stuff. So don't feel like because you're new and you don't know what's going on that, this isn't a group for you. It's because this is exactly the group I want for you to go ahead and be able to say, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'll try to help you. That's what I'm here for. That's what I hope I'm here for you. So with that said, I have a couple of things that I did want to, some new stones I want to go over real quick, and maybe we'll find something else that we need to talk about. But again, I got to take my glasses off so I can read. I don't think I've showed these to you guys, so if I have, I apologize. But I usually leave them here until I talk to you about them, and then I put them away. So this is orchid calcite, and it's a stone of manifestation and divine creation, helping you make things happen and bring matter into being. So again, it's that orangey color, and that would be with your lower chakras, and your lower chakras are the chakras of your creation. So that is orchid calcite. Put that over here. The next one we're going to talk about is, and I'm going to say this wrong. Gosh. Montebrasite. Montebrasite. Montebrasite is what I'm going with. That's probably incorrect. It's a very light blue. Yeah, blue. Turquoisey kind of color. See if I can get it. So, I know my fingernails are mostly in the way. And I can't really see because I don't have my glasses on. So, this is a crystal of honesty that encourages you to speak your truth. So again, there's the blue and your throat chakra. It works to alleviate fear and reveals how to work through the fear. It provides a deep sense of clarity and focus. It is helpful in removing blockages that prevent you from receiving divine guidance. So again, I always tell, when people say, I don't know what crystals to start with, I'm like, well, you've got to kind of take a minute and sit and think and really kind of decide what you want to start with. I knew right off one of my problems was my throat chakra, that I don't speak my truth. I have no problem speaking. I talk very well. I don't know if I talk very well. I have no problem talking, but I don't always speak my truth. I don't always say what I want to say. I hold things in a lot and don't always tell people what's bothering me. So that's an issue. So I knew my throat chakra was a problem. So I wear blue, it's down there somewhere, blue, all on my necklace, right where they need to be by my throat chakra. All right, so this one, I have a couple other pieces, but they're very, very small, is pink petalite, and is a stone of tranquility, healing, and angelic connection. So again, the pink would be your heart chakra. And this works with the gem to call from energies of peace, alignment, and sincerity. This stone's energy comes from spirit, from heaven above. So that is pink petalite. Somewhere I have a piece of clear petalite, but I don't know where it is. It's on my desk here, my space here somewhere, but that is pink petalite. All right, so let's see what else I have here. I got a free perfume. I don't remember what order it came in. I can't remember now. I've been kind of a shopaholic lately, but Athena's been having some really great deals with a lot of I believe this orchid calcite came free, and I'm also thinking this one came free with something. I can't remember now, but my orchid perfume came free with an order. And again, these are usually anywhere from $25 to $40 in value. And it smells really good. So that came free. And then I just want to take a few minutes here to show you guys some stuff. Got some flash tattoos. Love my flash tattoos. I've been really bad about putting them on lately. I don't know why. Because usually I have 3 or 4 on all the time. Or I at least have one on all the time. I haven't had any on for a couple of weeks now. I don't know what's going on with that. But that was one of the ones, the new ones. And I'll try to show it. So, with the butterfly. These are some other ones that I had that came. I got one out here, but I just wanted to show you guys some of the different ones that are in there. So those are some different ones, because there's a lot of really pretty ones. I just bought I got 3 of these because they sell out really fast, and I wanted to have them, is the moon ones. So there's some moon phase tattoos. Like I said, I bought 3 because they sell out really fast. And so when they're in stock, I grab a couple. Then there's also the more metallic-y looking ones. The light is really hard to show them, but and most of these are like, if you're getting like the single one that I just had, like where'd it go? Like this one, it's $3, and then you get your coupon code. So I probably had 18% off on it. These that are a little bit more, there's a couple sheets. There's 3 in here, and they're usually a little different. These run around $8. I like to wear them as a visual reminder every day. I usually wear it right here on my hand, and like I said, I don't know why I haven't had it on lately. I need to start doing that again. It's a very good visual reminder throughout the day to just kind of practice all the things that I talk about. To be kind, to be accepting, to help others, you know, all those things. So it's just a nice visual reminder to have for me throughout the day, to just kind of remember all those things that we talk about. A couple other things. I don't even know what's in here. I've been just throwing stuff in this box for the last couple of weeks here. And again, when you order something, you always get a small little perfume. And apparently, I have a lot of free little perfumes, you guys. So I have a whole bag. And these are just ones that are duplicates. All the, all the scents I have in my bathroom. So these are just all, all duplicate ones. I keep saying I'm going to do a giveaway, but we'll see. It's been a while since I've done a giveaway. I did order this one. This is the Sacred Sandalwood. And I don't want to go on too long here, but there's 2 perfumes, oils to work with. Kind of totally off topic here, but that are really great for covering BO. One of them is patchouli, which I don't have one here on my desk here. Nope. Patchouli and Sacred Sandalwood are really, really great for covering up BO. Now, take that as you will. There are people out there that just don't like to bathe. Buy some Sacred Sandalwood or some patchouli. There are people out there who have really dry skin and really dry hair. And so bathing on like an everyday routine is going to be even dry them out even more. Sorry, sometimes I just get caught on things. And so, they would probably benefit from patchouli or Sacred Sandalwood if they're not somebody that bathes on a regular basis. I take a shower every day or every other day. You can see, I have very oily skin, and this is with makeup on. I have very, very oily skin from like here up. My skin and my hair and my scalp are very, very oily. So I have to bathe on a regular basis. But I'm transitioning from mother to crone. For the rest of you, that's menopause. And so my body's going through a lot of things that I'm like, I just don't even know where that's coming from. I bathe, like I said, every day or every other day. And I sit at a desk all day. I don't have a job that's physically demanding that I have to be up and doing a lot of physical work and labor. And I get home sometime, I'm like, oh my God, I smell like a friggin' dead skunk. It's horrible. I don't know where it comes from. And I have a coworker who doesn't really like the smell of patchouli, which is fine. Oh, this must be leaking. Wow, gotta use that up. We don't waste it. She's not really fond of the smell of patchouli. I do mix it sometimes with other things, and I have a perfume that I did at Christmas time, which was called Gingerbread, and it had patchouli and ginger and vetiver and cinnamon and something else I can't remember now. And that she likes that smell, but she doesn't like patchouli on its own. So sacred sandalwood it is for me. And I bought this one. There was a special code, which doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. It was 25% off. Like that is like the all-time like massive discount. The only time I've ever seen it anywhere close is at the holidays. She had 22 or 21 or 22% off. This was 25. So I got lucky on that. So I just sandalwooded up my sweater here because the bottle was leaking a little bit. One of the free gifts, I am in the Soul Shift classes. If anybody's interested in that, I can tell you all kinds of exciting stuff about Soul Shift class. But we get little perks every now and then. We get free stuff just for being in class. And so one of the things that I got free was champaka oil. And I am not familiar with champaka oil, so I will be reading up on that and finding out what that is all about. But that was free. Every, I don't know, couple of weeks or so, there's something on the website. It doesn't just come free. You have to go in and order it. So if you're not paying attention on the website, you could very easily miss these things. But there are lots of things that go out every couple of weeks to a month free for Soul Shift members. You just have to pay shipping, but usually I'm on the website because I'm ordering something else anyway. And so that was a freebie. And I had an intuitively chosen stone, which I've got this one before, but I don't mind having duplicates because I have a lot of stones that I keep at work as well. So this one's going to go to work with me. And this is Ferdite Budstone. It's really pretty. My neighbor's out doing woodworking. All right, so helps assimilate ancient wisdom and activate deep healing. Used to facilitate healing work, helps channel messages about personal healing, and activates ancient wisdom from past lives. And it's green, so that's going to be related to your heart chakra. And so I have two of these, which, like I said, I don't mind because I have one that's going to stay here, and then I'll have one that is going to go to work with me. So I think that, oh wait, there was another free perfume I had. Where did it go? Oh, nope, I guess. Nope. Hasn't come yet. There's another one that's been coming. Just wanted to show you guys too quick. I really do have to go because I'm going to be late for work. Because a friend of mine got flowers for her birthday. The same friend that doesn't like the smell of patchouli, by the way. But she got a lot of flowers for her birthday, which was just recently. And when they were done, she was going to just throw them away. And I said, hey, can I have those? And she's like, yeah, I guess they're dead. And I'm like, that's okay. So I brought them home and I dried them. And then after they were good and dry, because you want them to be really, really dry, because if they're not, it's going to get yucky smelling. And then I pulled them all apart, and right now I just have them in this bowl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let them dry a little bit more. They're pretty well dried. You can hear that they're dry. But I'm going to let them dry a little bit more. And then I'm actually going to grind them up and make incense with them. So if anybody's interested in a little pouch of incense, let me know. We'll work something out. Probably just charge you, you know, shipping or whatever. Because like I said, I didn't pay anything for them. They were free. But that's always, you know, another way of, you know, trying not to be wasteful of anything, trying to reuse and repurpose things. So instead of just throwing those in the garbage, hopefully we can get it ground up and make a nice little incense to go on our charcoal discs. So I guess that's it for today. So if anybody has any questions, comments, again, just put them in the comments below or send me a private message. I'm fine with that as well. You can go ahead and share the video. You can share the group. Invite some friends. That would be really great. If you've watched the video, it'd be nice if you could just give me a thumbs up or comment watched in the comments, so I know that you guys are watching me and that I'm not just talking to myself every day. If I am, oh well. I'm helping educate myself by doing it, if nothing else, right? Oh, Queen Bee over there is awakened. All right, so I am off to another fun-filled day of work. Normally we would do a video on Thursday, but I have a doctor's appointment, just my regular physical, nothing exciting. So yeah, so I have my doctor's appointment, so I won't see you guys on Thursday. So I will see you guys back here next Tuesday. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to pull real quick a chakra card. So normally we would do that Thursday, and I'm not going to be here Thursday with you. So let's see. So last Thursday we pulled the highest path card. So we're going to put that back. And again, just a reminder, not pulling for anybody particular, just pulling a card. I think it probably will resonate with somebody on here. Again, somebody that's watching now or somebody that's watching later. All right, so we have spiritual development, which is kind of cool because we just talked about spiritual awakenings and the Kundalini. So that kind of fits together, doesn't it? All right, put the cards back in. All right, so gotta take my glasses off here. I want to do this quickly because I have to get to work. The events of your life, past, present, and future, are coming together right now in ways that you can recognize, and as you release your grasp on time and space in your spiritual development, you will be able to see the connections even more easily. Enjoy this new perspective and allow it to bring you a new level of peace. Focus your attention and your intention on the intimate and subtle relationships among all things. As you gaze at life's unfoldings from this space of heightened awareness, allow your knowing to deepen your compassion for others. And so that is your soul star chakra, which is actually a little bit above your crown chakra. The crystal is solasite, which I do have one around here somewhere. I think that's Danbarite. I have one here somewhere. And the herb would be jasmine leaf. So that will be our card for this week, because like I said, I won't be here Thursday just because it's a routine doctor's appointment. My doctor called and she's like, you didn't come to your appointment, your yearly appointment. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I've been busy. And she's like, no, you need to come. I'm like, okay, fine. So I will be there Thursday morning, and so I won't be able to be here with you guys. So I'll be back on Tuesday, unless somebody has something they want to talk about. I'm just putting some stuff under the desk here. Unless somebody has something that they want to talk about, what I'm planning on talking about on Tuesday is Mercury is going retrograde. There is a video on there on the group and in YouTube from, I believe, in previous Mercury retrograde that you can go and feel free to watch as well. But we'll talk about that again, because Mercury retrograde can really be kind of chaotic. And I just want to make sure everybody's prepared for that, for what's going to be coming. So that's what we're going to talk about next Tuesday, unless somebody has something different that they really want to talk about, and then you can let me know, and I can always change it or fit in whatever we need to fit in, because I really don't care. I want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. So anyway, I have to go to work, and so thank you for watching. Again, there's the videos in this group. If you're not really so much into being in the group with all the posts, because I do have stuff for sale on here and stuff, that is not my purpose of the group, but it is in there because I find a lot of times, even if you're not purchasing, there's the description of what I'm selling, so it will tell you like what it's good for, what it is, and things like that. So I find it's very educational, even if you're not purchasing. But if you're not into all that and you just want to watch the videos, you can go over to my YouTube channel, which has got just the videos. There's, there's nothing else in there if you're not interested in any of that other stuff. But in the group, I try to do some fun stuff. I try to do some giveaways once in a while, which, like I said, I haven't done one for a while, so maybe it's coming up time to do another giveaway. So I've got lots of stuff I could give away. But so you can watch the videos. Oh, I almost spilled my icing. You can watch the videos there. And like I said, I am on Instagram, but Instagram's kind of a mix of the group stuff and my personal stuff. But some people, that doesn't bother them either. Some people want to know more about my personal stuff. So it's really whatever your preference is, where you want to be, or you can be in all three. That's fine too. So I have to go. Lots of love. Remember to be kind. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And actually, your act of kindness is going to make you feel better about yourself. So it's going to improve your day. And every day that you do that is going to improve your life. And your acts of kindness towards others could really impact their lives as well. Not only just for the day, but, could be a long-term impact on somebody, your small act of kindness. So remember to be kind. Thanks for watching. I love you guys all, and I will see you guys next